Hello friends, welcome back to Pathshala. In today's session, we will going to discuss about the structure of neuron. Neuron means it is the unit of the nerve cell. So the nerve cells are made up of many or millions of single neurons. So these are the neurons are the unit of the nerve cell. So this single cell structure or neuron is known looks like this type. It is the longest cell that is present in our body. So it consisted of mainly three parts. First part is known as cell body. The circular part is known as the cell body. The thread-like projections that arises from the cell body is known as the small thread-like projections, is known as the dendron, and the long fiber-like projection is known as axon. So this portion, this rounded portion is known as cell body. It is also known as cyton. Then it has the small finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are known as dendron. So this is the dendron, and dendron then further branched off into many branches. So the single branch is known as dendrite. Now come to the inside of the cyton. So cyton has a very prominent big size nucleus, and the nucleolus is properly visible. Obviously in microscope. So this is the nucleus. Then the nucleus is surrounded by many cell organelles. First of all, it is surrounded by mitochondria. I showed mitochondria in red ink. So this is the mitochondria. The function of the neuron is to transmit the electrical impulse, so it needs much more energy than the other cells that are present in our body. So it has nearly more content of mitochondria in it, but it is lack of centriole. Animal cells, basically all the animal cells do have centrioles in their structure. This centriole helps to divide the cell structure, means the centriole helps in cell division of animal cell. But in case of plant also don't have centrioles in their structure. Plant have many microtubules for this cell division function. But the nerve cell or the neuron basically lack of the centriole, so that it can't divide. If a neuron is damaged, then it is replaced by other kind of nerve cells that is known as neuroglia cells. But if it is damaged, then it can't replaced by or can't divide. Then it has the cytoplasm in it. I showed cytoplasm in the blue ink. So the cytoplasm present in the cell body is known as neuroplasm. It is known as neuroplasm. Then it has big dot-like or granule-like structures that is present in the cell body. This granule-like structures are known as, I showed in this green ink here. So this granule-like structures is known as nasal granule. This nasal granule is made up mostly of lipid, and this nasal granule is made up of mostly protein, and this is basically the ribosome or the ribosome made proteins structures. Then the cytoplasm also have this small fiber-like structures. I showed this fiber-like structures in black ink. So these fiber-like structures are known as the neurofibrils. So these are the fibrils that are present inside the cell body. The dendron also have the neuroplasm, nasal body and neurofibrils inside their projection. Then there is a long fiber-like projection that arises from the cell body. This long fiber-like projections from here to the end, this structure is known as axon. The junction from where the action arises from the cell body is guarded by small fiber-like structures wherefrom the action arises. So these fiber-like projections are known as action hillock. Action hillock are nothing but the fiber-like projections from where the action arises. Actions also do have the cytoplasm inside it. The cytoplasm that present in the cell body is known as neuroplasm, but the cytoplasm present in the action is known as the exoplasm. Also, the covering of the cell body is known as neurolemma, whereas the covering of the action is known as the exolemma. This is known as exolemma. Lemma means covering. So covering of action is known as exolemma. Then the action is guarded by some insulated structures that are mostly made up of lipid and somewhat protein. So these insulated structures are known as myelin sheath. So these insulated structures are known as myelin sheath, and this myelin sheath performs the basic insulation property. Means this action actually transmits the electrical impulse, and this myelin sheath, though it is made up of lipid, that is why it performs the insulation property or insulation function. Then we have the Schwann cell inside it. The nerve cells actually have some cell-like structure, different cell-like structures inside it. So this is known as glia cells, and the glia cells that is present in myelin sheath is known as this cell, or this one is known as the Schwann cell. Schwann cell. This is present in the myelin sheath. The last portion is the action then divides into many branches. These branches, or the end portion of this branch, is a finger-like or bulb-like projections present. This bulb-like projection is known as the end bulb or the synapse. It is also known as telodendria. So where in last part the action branched off into many parts, especially 2 or 3 parts. So this branch-like portions is known as telodendria. This is actually the telodendria. And this telodendria again branched off into small bulb-like structures. These bulb-like structures are known as end bulb or the synapse. So this is the detailed structure of the neuron. In some of the neuron, actions have this myelin sheath, some lack myelin sheath. The actions that have the myelin sheath is known as myelinated action, and those that are lack of myelin sheath is known as non-myelinated action. The electrical impulse move faster in myelinated action than in case of the non-myelinated one. There is a small junction present between two myelin sheaths. So this junction between two myelin sheaths is known as node of Ranvier. So what happened in the myelinated sheath is the dendron actually receive impulses from other neuron or the end portion of the other neuron. Here the end portion of the other neuron actually present. And then the neuron receives, the dendron actually receives the signal from the end portion of the other neuron. Then the dendron transmits this electrical impulse into cell body, and cell body further transmits into the axon. If the axon is non-myelinated, then the electrical impulse have to travel the whole path. But if the axon is myelinated, then the electrical impulse jumped off from here to the node of Ranvier, because this portion is insulated, so electrical impulse can't move from this section. So electrical impulse jumped from node of Ranvier to another node of Ranvier, and then reaches to the end part, and from there it reaches to the end bulb. And here the another neuron's dendron is present, so it receives the electrical impulse or electrical signals, and by this action the electrical impulse goes from one end to the another part of our body. So this is the detailed structure of the neuron, that is the unit of the nerve cell. And we will in later class discuss about the synapse and the difference between the dendron and axon. So thank you so much.